After the encounter with Muzan at the Obuyashiki mansion, Tanjiro and the other Demon Slayer core members are dropped into the Infinity Castle through doors which randomly open and lead them into an almost endless drop. As he falls into the Infinity Castle, Tanjiro is confused by his surroundings. The directions and gravity are mixed around, and he wonders if the place is Muzan's blood demon art. Knowing Tamayo will not be able to keep up with Muzan for long, he resolves to take down Muzan as quickly as possible. Tanjiro realizes he has to grab onto some part of the building, or he will die as soon as he crashes. He is not able to brace himself as his posture is bad, and the air pressure is too strong. An arm successfully reaches him and pulls Tanjiro to safety, revealed to be Giyu. Giyu pulls Tanjiro up, saving him from the fall. As Tanjiro thanks Giyu for helping him, he is attacked by a demon from the behind, but is able to slash his head off in a single swipe of his black Nichiren sword. As the demon fades away, Giyu yells at Tanjiro, alerting him, as a swarm of demons crash through the room's door. Tanjiro uses water breathing, 6th form twisting whirlpool, and is assisted by Giyu using water breathing, 3rd form dance of the fast moving current. All the demons are defeated in a quick instant. An unnerved Tanjiro is amazed at Giyu's genius, as Giyu was able to see what technique he was gonna use and use a move that would be the best to use along with Tanjiro. Tanjiro notices the unimpressed expression that Giyu is making and is confused by why he is doing that, as Giyu tells that should get going. In another part of the castle, Obanai lands down and is attacked by a horde of demons and is able to beat them easily with his serpent breathing, 5th form, serpentine coil. He demands the demons to stay away from Mitsuri, who blushes seeing Obanai save her. Obanai asks Tomato Red Mitsuri if she is hurt and tells that they should get going. As Gyomei and Muichiro make their path, quickly cutting down any demon in their way, Muichiro makes note of the sheer number of demons. Gyomei believes each demon is as powerful as a lower rank, and the job of these numerous demons is to wear them down. When Muichiro asks about Kagaya, Gyomei only tells him he had met a magnificent end. Knowing Kagaya would have never let a demon find him, he asks the stone Hashira if he had used himself as bait, to which Gyomei confirms he had. Accepting he knew he did not have long to live, the Mist Hashira remembers when Kagaya had visited him as he lay in bed following a demon's attack, never leaving his side. He had also done the same to other members of the core. Muichiro becomes enraged that Muzan not only took his brother, Yushiro, but their father figure, promising to make him suffer before killing him, a sentiment the equally angry Gyomei agrees with. Sitting alone, Sanemi is angry at himself as he was not able to save Kagaya. He is attacked by a demon and slashes it into pieces without even looking. Numerous more appear and converge on him, but the tearful and furious Sanemi, grieving his master's death, demands they all come to him, promising to kill each one of them. Elsewhere, Inosuke runs through the corridors of the Infinity Castle, charging at demons and slaughtering them with his pig assault attack. He is confused how he got here, but calls it a great chance to test out his training. Genya makes his way through the endless halls, confused by his surroundings and wondering if everyone else in Sanemi is alright. Zenitsu, after hearing something in the distance, wonders if a mysterious person is close by, promising to never forgive him. Shinobu, after walking through a hallway, suddenly smells blood. She opens a door and sees a demon surrounded by numerous bloody corpses of young women. Doma, upon noticing he has a visitor, remarks that Shinobu appears young and tasty, promising to thank Nakime for making his night. In the arms of Shinobu, her dying sister, Kanae, asks her to leave the Demon Slayer Corps, and she wants her to live the life and experience the happiness of a normal girl, and live until she turns really old. Shinobu yells with her eyes filled with tears, telling her sister that she will never quit and will avenge her death, and asks her to tell which demon who defeated her. Her sister had told her that it was a demon with bloodstains on top of his head. As she recalls her sister's last moments, the demon greets her, telling his name is Duma. Kanae describes the demon as always having a carefree smile, having a calm and gentle tone while talking just like the demon in front. One of the girls calls out to Shinobu for help. Duma shushes her as she interrupts them talking. Shinobu rushes forward and takes the woman in her arms as Duma grows impressed with her speed and wonders wonders if she is a Hashira. However, when she asks the woman if she is alright, she suddenly falls to pieces. Stunned by the gruesome scene she has just witnessed, Shinobu stares blankly as Duma tells her to leave the woman's body, promising to eat it later. She turns to face him as she remembers Kanai had said her killer wields a pair of sharp fans, just as Duma reveals his weapons. The demon introduces himself as the leader of the Eternal Paradise Faith. His role is to make those faithful to him happy, and that he will devour her without wasting anything. As Shinobu realizes Duma is the demon who killed Kanai, she retorts that the woman wasn't happy pleading for her life, only for Duma to answer that he did help her. By killing her, she is no longer in pain or afraid. He explains that he eats them all up as everyone is afraid of dying, and now they get to live with him forever with the feelings, blood, and flesh of all his worshippers. He makes sure to rescue them and guide them to enlightenment. Shinobu is disgusted by Duma's thoughts and asks if he is mentally stable. Duma innocently asks why Shinobu is speaking so harshly with him even though they just met, and asks if there is anything bothering her and promises to listen. The insect Hashira answers that she is not being bothered by anything. She grabs her Haori and demands he remember where he saw it. Duma realizes the Haori belongs to his former opponent who uses flower breathing. He describes Kanai as kind and cute, adding that he regrets not being able to eat her. Hearing his comments, Shinobu furiously attacks Duma in rage and using insect breathing, Dance of the Bee Sting, she stabs Duma in his left eye. The upper rank compliments her since he was unable to stop the blow as he retaliates with Blood Demon art. Frozen Lotus, the extreme cold freezes part of her clothing and face as Shinobu retreats and remarks that the air is so cold it could freeze her lungs. Though he commends Shinobu for her speed, Duma calls her attack pathetic for not beheading him. Shinobu responds that she knows this, but asks if he knows about the poison. Duma notices the spreading poison, reaching his face as he screeches in pain. Shinbu, unsure if the poison works on an upper moon, remembers Kanai and hopes she can succeed. Duma falls to his knees in severe pain and vomits blood, remarking that the poison is more powerful than the one she had used on Mount Natagumo, disappointing Shinobu to realize that demons do share their information, making poison a double-edged sword. At that moment, his coughing slows and he gets up to face her, revealing he had successfully decomposed the poison in his body, offering her a sarcastic apology. He figures out how she is able to use poison as he heard her sword make a sound when she sheathed it and understands it is where she changes the poison she uses. Duma becomes excited to face a user of poison and believes he can get used to the pain, asking if she has more planned for him. Shinobu, having anticipated he would survive her initial attack, draws her blade to face upper rank 2. Duma recalls his past. He considered himself kind and clever right from his childhood, where he helped people in need and made them happy, which was his mission. Born with rainbow-colored eyes and white hair, he was believed to be special and connected to the gods. His parents, whom he considered dim-witted, arranged a cult with him at the head called the Eternal Paradise Faith. Despite this, he never heard the god's voice and simply played along. Worshippers flocked to Duma to repent their issues and problems in life, hoping for advice. However, even at a young age, the unemotional Duma found it annoying that adults had come to seek wisdom from a child. When they begged him to guide them to paradise, he cried, believing that paradise, the gods, and Buddha were a fairy tale that never existed, confused why people wouldn't believe they were all destined to die and rot, and pitying them for their inability to see reality. Duma has a room filled with skulls displayed on shelves and grooms the hair of one the skulls placed on a vase. Duma believes he was born to make it his duty to make these people happy by devouring them whole. Duma is stabbed by Shinobu's poison for the 5th time, but is able to heal himself quickly, and the effects of her poison seem to be getting less and less effective. He asks her if she is fine as he notices her sweating a lot. Shinobu realizes the true strength of an upper moon and is stunned at the speed of Duma building resistance to her poison. He tells her that her lungs are dying after accidentally breathing in his blood demon art, now making it dangerous to breathe. She then decides to use multiple blows to poison him again. She uses insect breathing, Dance of the Dragonfly, Compound Eye Hexagon, and rushes forward and stabs stabs Duma 6 times. Duma is impressed by her speed and remarks that she might be the fastest Hashira that he has fought. As she backs away, Shinobu bleeds profusely, realizing she herself was also slashed in return before she could notice. Duma taunts her as she collapses in pain, mentioning that she could have easily cut off his head with her immense speed, but can't be due to her small frame. As blood falls on her hands, she sees just how small they are. She remembers she never grew any taller, and thinks that she could have killed demons the normal way without being dependent on poison had she grown a bit more. Shinobu knew larger hands and legs meant more muscle and that it was a distinct advantage. She recalls Kanai was able to do so, despite being taller and having a dainty and thin frame, and remarks that Gyomei's strength puts others at ease when he fights. Shinobu remembers Kanai's last moments with her, telling herself she would likely lose to Duma. Kanai's spirit suddenly appears before the injured Shinobu, telling her to stand. Shinobu believes she can no longer as she has lost too much blood, and with her left lung punctured by Duma's attack, she cannot breathe normally as well. Kanai declares that irrelevant and states she will win with the right resolve to kill him, no matter the sacrifice, noting she promised to her and to Kanao. Remembering their younger sister, Shinobu crouches down while Duma approaches her, noting the slashes he gave was only half-hearted, making it very painful for her. Kanai tells her younger sister to do her best, willing enough strength in Shinobu's body to stand up, surprising the upper rank. Duma, impressed at her strength, asks if she is really a human. As she stares at Duma, Shinobu starts to cough blood, making Duma laugh that the blood in her lungs is causing her to do so. Resolving to behead Shinobu to end her pain, he tells her to give up, claiming she is already beyond saving. Instead, Shinobu takes a stance and using insect breathing, Dance of the Centipede, 100-legged zigzag, she speeds towards the upper rank to attack him. Duma is shocked at this feat, noting the destroyed bridge from the impact of her feet. He tries to slash her in response, but is unable to predict her movement, only managing to slice her Hari. Shinobu crouches down and launches herself into the air, driving her sword through Duma's neck and forcing his body to smash into the ceiling in one final thrust. Shinobu recalls her childhood, once believing that happiness was an endless road throughout life. That belief was shattered when a demon entered her home and killed both her parents, leaving her and Kanai orphaned. They were saved, however, by Gyomei, who had arrived and quickly defeated the demon. Shinobu realized that though her happiness was forever destroyed, other people's weren't, and the sisters resolved to defeat demons and prevent other people from suffering the same fate as them. She and Kanei promised to each other to both become demon slayers to do so. The two believed that despite their weak strength, stopping one demon could save tens of people, and stopping an upper rank could save hundreds. It didn't matter that they could or could not. What mattered was they had to try. She recalls as she starts to fall down with her sword with Duma smashed into the roof. Recalling the time when Tanjiro had asked if she was angry, she states she has been so for a long time, remembering her parents' death, her sister's death, and the deaths of all her Tsugukos before Kanao. She remembers Ahoy, Sumi, Kyo, and Naho, how their families too were killed. Most of all, she is furious at her poison's inability to hurt Doma. Her sword slips from Doma's neck, causing her to fall. Doma then uses his ice to catch her and pull Shinobu into a hug. With crocodile tears in his eyes, he mockingly congratulates her for making it thus far, while insulting her for being weaker and less talented than Kanai. To her fury, Duma acknowledges her foolishness at trying to kill him, despite all the odds and calls at the thing that makes humans so fleeting. As he decides she is finally worthy of being eaten by him, Duma asks for her final words. She only responds, "Go to hell." Kanao opens the door to the cult room and looks up to see Duma clutching her in the roof. Shinobu attempts to signal Kanao with her hand, but Duma notices it. As she watches, Duma breaks Shinobu's body in his arms, to Kanao's horror, killing her and causing her sword to fall from her hand. She desperately leaps upwards to use flower breathing, fourth form, Crimson Hanagoromo, but misses. Duma, with his extreme speed, escapes and lands onto the floor. The demon advises her not to attack him in the middle of absorbing someone, causing Kanao to boil with rage. Duma fails to taunt her and instead fondly recalls that Shinobu had only a short time with him due to his abilities, and decides that this night might be really good, having two gorgeous meals at once while licking Shinobu's hairpin, commenting on his fine evening to have feasts come to him one after another. As the upper rank continues to taunt her, Kanao admits that somehow now, she feels the people important to her will be alive tomorrow, yet there is no way she can promise it can happen with such certainty just from her own hopes. Zenitsu approaches a room and calls for the demon inside to come out. They only respond that Zenitsu's beckoning is no way to speak to a senior. Kaigaku walks out and taunts him for being as shabby as ever, but Zenitsu responds back that as a demon, Kaigaku is no longer his senior.